Thank you for noticing that this is our take 2. We were low battery.
Yes,
so hopefully this works.
queen.
Hopefully it's synced. May the internet gods be with us. I'm here with Melanie Vesey, and I said it right this time.
You did.
And she is a goddess. That's just
Thank you.
Just saying it like it is.
Come on.
And a comedian, and you're the first mom comedian on Bad Mom Jokes. I'm so excited. Fries.
French fries.
And what were we talking about before we lost battery?
We were talking about French fries,
yes.
My addiction to French fries. Then we were talking about comedy and how I got started.
And how you got started.
How I took a break for a decade, and then
juggling. And I don't mean to be like. Here's the tricky thing about being a woman and a performer and trying to do all these things. You can't do it all. And we were talking about how when you have a kid, it's often this huge, like, you get pulled out of the game.
Yeah.
And it's so depressing because even before I had kids, I learned that there really is no way to do them both, because I would hear from professional women and they either chose career or family, and it set them back 10, 20 years or whatever.
Yeah. So what I was saying to Alyssa was, because I stopped. So when I got pregnant with my son, I stopped for about 10 years because I did not have support in the house and a relationship that I was in to
Which
continue.
is death. Which is total death.
It was
to anyone's
so
career.
painful.
Yeah,
and believe
that's
me,
the hardest thing.
A lot of rage there, a lot of pain, a lot of doubts and self-loathing and all of that stuff. However, I am currently married to a fucking angel. She's amazing. My kid is now 13.
So you still have a kid.
Oh no, I still have
I was thinking maybe like college.
Oh no.
So you're still in it.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Okay.
However, all he wants is for me to go away at this age.
Yeah.
So, and when I decided about 3 years ago to go back into comedy, and I also am from like total absentee parenting, you know? So I'm always scared that I'm going to be letting my kid down or my partner. And so I have a tendency to like lean more into that because I value being a good mom. I really do. It is my number one value. Above success and all of that stuff. And I was really scared that I was going to be letting them down, or that I wouldn't be home for dinner, or I'd be traveling and all of that stuff. And they were like, go.
Right. Get out of here. You're driving us crazy.
Yeah. Essentially, like, you're half a bitch when you're not doing what you love.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
So I took that break about 10 years ago, but I didn't completely not do anything creative. So I transitioned more into filmmaking, and I wrote, directed, and produced 3 films. 3 films that all went to festival, but I did 4 films in general overall. And my feature film went through the Outfest Screenwriters Lab, and you can watch all of my films at melanievesey.com. I'm super proud of all of them. I was able to kind of work my filmmaking and my storytelling in that medium a little bit better around being a mom at the time. So
my head's exploding right now. No, my head is exploding because I did not know this. So we've gotten close recently, in the last few months.
Yeah.
And I did not know this about you, and we're flip-flops.
That's
so I was writing and directing and going to festivals before kids, and stand-up is my lifeline to my creative juices. Funny. I don't see myself ultimately as a stand-up comedian. It's just keeping me like going.
That is so bananas.
Isn't that crazy? What? Like, what is going on? I was going to say, I should tell her to check out my website.
You were like,
to see that I actually have accomplished some things.
Yeah.
Before, and that's what's so crazy is, I don't know about you, did you plan getting pregnant?
Yes, my
So did I. And it was the scariest thing for me because I just had this knowledge that everything I had built up was going to like crumble in front of me.
I didn't. I really thought
my mom was really honest.
Yeah. My parents, unfortunately, I love them. They're great people. I cannot turn to them for any sort of advice or how to.
You're like, whatever you did, I'm going to do the opposite.
Kind of. I have other mentors in my life that are women that are a little bit farther down the path. Most of them have children. Yeah. And I call them to be like, hey, how do you juggle being a parent and, I don't know, on Oprah? You know, how do you do it?
And they're like, you don't have it.
Yeah, you were like, oh my God, this is how you do it. And then I actually, because here's the thing, this also kind of weaves into the fact that I'm also a gay mom. But I jumped the fence to have a baby with a man. So one of the reasons why I can't be in a relationship with a man is because there is a lack of equality. This is my opinion. Not everybody has that.
I know, I think that's really wise. If I could love a vagina, I totally would. I've thought about it so many times. I can't get past here. No, but I'm dead serious because they are the enemy. I'm sorry, women. White women are sleeping with the enemy, and that's part of America's problem.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. It's just what it is.
I really like.
So hard.
What was so hard was that his career really took the front, and I was like, I have a career too, and I just felt like my career wasn't as important, and if anything, like it was almost impossible for me to do my career.
Maybe.
It was all of it. So and he was on a reality TV show, so he was gone a lot.
Yeah.
So it was almost impossible for me to do anything when my kid was little.
Yeah, because if you're by yourself, it's just 24/7.
Yeah, it's just about survival.
Absolutely.
You're just about food and shelter and how not to burn the house down.
Absolutely.
Out of rage and boredom and what have you, and just being isolated.
Yes.
And,
and people think it sounds so depressing.
Yeah.
But the truth is, it's reality. I've told my husband, I totally get, Sylvia Plath in the oven. Was that what I mean, I literally looked at the oven and be like, I feel you, sister.
Yeah.
You know?
It is really bananas. And I think that that's not for all women. I just feel like when you're a strong woman that has other points of view and you have goals and dreams.
That side of you doesn't die. It's nagging you in your head like, hey, I have an idea for a film where I have this and I have that. And you're like, I'm serving grilled cheese right now.
Yeah. Well, and also too, it's very difficult to watch your peers then also to surpass you at a rate that you cannot believe.
You'll never get it back.
And also too, the story in LA is that like, your opportunity is passing you by, or you're getting old, you're getting old, you're getting old, you're getting fat, you're getting fat, you're getting fat. Look at the wrinkles, look at the wrinkles, look at the wrinkles. And you're just told like, you're like running for the clock. Like I feel like strong creative women not only have a biological clock to have a baby because we're not nuts, but we also have a biological clock for our career, which is that your last fuckable day is coming up and you're not going to be able to...
And once you're not fuckable, no one wants to hear your voice. Yeah, totally. Oh no, it's real. I've had cinematographers and these film whatever and say, well, the reason we have to touch up a woman's face so much is because people won't listen if she's not pretty. Literally. And you're like,
it's really...
We can change that.
Yeah, it's really challenging.
Yeah.
However, here's to say that I also go to a great doctor in Beverly Hills.
I'll get his number.
I'm doing everything I can to set the clock back 10 years.
Well, you look fabulous.
Oh, that's
it's all working.
I'm due for a touch-up, so we'll see how this goes.
Stop. I'm optimistic.
You're also 11.
No, stop it. I'm optimistic that things will change. But it's still very depressing.
Well, and it's also like, who's going to go first? Like, I felt like Madonna had the chance to age in front of us, and she was just like, oh no, bitch. Yeah. Like, I will not be.
I'm not going to be the sacrificial. I'm not going to experiment with that.
No. She's like, I will be 60, and I will be pushing my makeup line, but I will be as taut and as smooth as a baby's bottom. Yeah.
So. I think we need a female president who looks real. Because I have this theory about England. Now, bear with me. Okay. They've got a queen, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've noticed, but actresses, a lot of them can age gracefully with all the wrinkles and star and roll. Like, I was watching Harry Potter's, and there's that fabulous older British woman who has like every wrinkle, but she commands such a attention. And I almost think it's because if you have a woman in a powerful position, then women are allowed to be in a powerful role. You know what I mean?
I do agree with that.
There's a lot of powerful women there.
Yeah, I think that we really do worship the altar of young and which is very difficult because you don't necessarily have a story or a point of view in your 20s.
At all.
And so
you're not challenging at all.
Yeah. So it is pretty tough. We definitely we almost had a female president, but you blew it, America. Seriously.
I don't get it. I do because I grew up in rural America. So I have the unique perspective of knowing a lot of Trump supporters. And
I have family members that are Trump supporters.
And a ton of families that are religious, blind religion. And even my Nana, who had the chance to elect a female president, I'm sure she didn't.
Nope.
You know, and it's just like,
Nope.
why would you pass up that historic opportunity?
Okay, so
especially for, you know.
Yeah, so I have a new theory about that.
Yeah.
And so this is actually like a new bit I've been
Yeah.
working on, which is that I've been watching the TV show Hoarders. Do you know this TV show?
Yeah, oh, it's terrifying.
So on this show, it's mostly older white women. I mean,
Okay.
it is for real,
Yeah.
all older white
Interesting.
women. Now, sometimes they do a little diversity. They throw in a
Yeah.
black person or a
Yeah.
dude just to kind of mix it up. It's all older white women.
Huh.
And I was like, I think this might be the connection as to why 53% of older white women voted for Trump, because they don't know how to take out the trash.
And see, then I have this conspiracy theory that it's the producers of the show that are only selecting white women because we're the enemy.
And they don't know
The
how
man
to take
is
out
always
the
trying to keep the white woman
trash.
down because we're the ones that can hold you fucking accountable.
Oh my God.
And this is a great
so
segue
brilliant.
to something else.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Have you heard of Judy Tenuta?
Of course.
I had never heard of her.
Oh no, because she was around when I was younger. Ooh, Judy Tenuta, right?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes. And like
In the 80s,
it's
she was
crazy.
huge.
Huge, right?
Huge.
And I feel based on the videos I've watched, I'm like pretty fucking talented.
Yeah.
And now she has like 3,000 Twitter followers and does like is an ordained minister and does weddings. And I just am like, what? Like I'm sure because she's a woman who's powerful and dangerous.
Yeah.
She did not get the blessing to go. You know what I mean? I don't know. What's your take on that? Because I'm like ready to start her fan club.
I kind of feel the same thing about Elaine Boozler. Do you know who she is?
I don't.
Oh my
Tell me about her.
God.
Tell me. I'm looking for my women role model.
Elaine Boozler. Everyone should look her up. So I grew up watching Elaine Boozler,
Yeah.
and she has a new special out right now called Timeless.
Nice.
And she was the big top lady banana working with all of the dudes all throughout the 80s.
And she's a comedian?
Huge.
Wow.
I mean, she is huge.
Whoa.
But the dudes just get to age and be old, and unfortunately the women. I mean, Joan Rivers is an example of somebody who took it all the way to the fucking grave.
Right. But she did constantly
But
make
she fought.
herself.
She fought.
Yes.
And if you don't necessarily have that kind of like piss and vinegar in your blood to constantly like do the fight.
Like if you're not a man on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I think Elaine, I'm not quite sure of her whole trajectory, but she recently is on Instagram now, and I just am commenting, and she's.
I can't wait.
Oh yeah, Elaine Boozler, she's kind of amazing.
And that makes me crazy because I think there have been amazing female comedians through the years. And I've been thinking a lot about this. I think Carol Burnett kind of surpassed the glass ceiling before it was built.
I agree with that.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But it just.
But what is she still doing? I also feel
but who cares? She has her legacy. She produced a show.
I know. What I'm saying is that like she's not like I don't know what she's up to. Is she creating new content? Like I don't know. I should look into that.
She must be so retired.
But I feel like what happens is that as a woman, like you push and you push and you push, and then you get exhausted, and then you also see that there's other things to value, family time, children.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's the stuff when you're laying on your deathbed, you're going to be bummed that you didn't experience.
Of course.
I know a little bit about her children, and I know that she's had some challenging stuff with her children.
Well, because I saw her in an interview, and she said back when she was doing her show, they were done by 3, and she could go pick her kids up from school. Now, can you imagine?
Amazing.
Being done with a TV show like that at 3 and picking your kids up from school?
It's the dream come true.
Not everyone's working so hard now.
The dream come true.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, no, that dream has died and gone down into the grave. But I mean, so it was a different time. But you said that there may have even still been challenges because you're so all consumed by your career.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and then Amy Poehler just came out with a show that aired last night on NBC, and I don't think it's going to do well. It's I feel bad.
Oh, but she's just a producer though, or is she not
I
on
thought
the
she
show?
wrote and produced it. Maybe she's producing.
She's not
but
on the show.
But it's her like brainchild.
Right.
No. It's her probably saying like, I want to make something for women, about the truth, and it's all good and noble. And just like with this channel, what I'm really struggling with is the people I'm making for it. I'm supporting moms and like doing less, be a bad mom.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing is like support you and not being Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Moms are too fucking busy to listen to something like this. We're too busy. We're not watching a TV show last night. We're maybe sleeping.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that's the problem, is we're not the demographic that people are entertaining. So I think it's men who sit around and when they're done with porn that watch content, right? It's the follow-up. It's like, I blow my wad and now I'm going to watch two broads sit on a couch. Like, that's our one viewer right now. When he's done, he'll just still be here. Right?
I don't know.
We don't drive the content because we're not the viewers. We're too busy. We got stuff. We got kids. Like you said, we have kids. We have lives. Yeah. We're fulfilled, as one of my friends said. Yeah. She's this amazing Korean director, and she said, women are fulfilled and men are not. Yeah. They're restless. You know?
Well, because they're only supposed to be out there killing and fucking.
Well, and they can't. The only way they can create, they can't create the way that we can. Yeah. 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 So they create content. I don't know. Anyway. So, is this totally? So I heard you do the Cardi B thing. Oh, are you doing that?
I'm not.
You should.
Well, because she's had the baby.
I don't care. Find a new take on it. She has these Cardi B impressions that are insane.
No, I think I only did that once because I was like.
Wait, did you only do it at that one show?
I think so.
Oh my god! Because that was so memorable.
Because I was like, oh, did you hear what Cardi B is naming her baby? And she was like, what? And I was like, okay, like that. That's it. That's what she's naming her baby.
Oh, hi. Hello. Viewer, kisses and hugs, they say.
Yeah, but I seriously, well, she's had the baby now.
How long have you been able to do these whatevers? Like, I am so impressed with you.
I don't know. Since I saw a bird, I don't know.
You're like, well, I worked on my bird calls in sixth grade.
Well, it was a Juilliard.
So you did go to Juilliard.
I did. Yeah, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. Mm-hmm. That's like fame, like, you know.
That's why I sing the song in my ad.
You do?
I do.
Oh, okay. So have I seen that?
Yeah, because I do a whole.
Did you do it at Flappers?
I did it at Flappers. I think when you came to see that one time. Yeah,
good. You should be doing that. Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's kind of like. So what she's talking about is I sing the song Fame because I lived in like a suburb of Detroit in the 80s growing up. And I watched Fame on TV, and my dad had moved to New York City, so I naturally moved to New York City when I was 14 to pursue my dancing.
With your dad?
Yeah, and it was because of the TV show Fame, and then I sang the song, and then here's the thing, but then I went back to Michigan to a school called Interlochen Arts Academy, and that's in the like sticks of Michigan up north. And then from there, I got into a bunch of colleges. I was scouted. Like the school is so prestigious. You know.
So Juilliard High School.
No, college. Yeah, at Lincoln
They don't have a high school.
Yeah, no, they do not have a high school. The high school would be LaGuardia, which is,
Okay, so you went to Juilliard, and then you said you went back to Michigan?
So I went to, for high school in Michigan, so in New York, then I went back to Michigan to go to Interlochen, then I went back to New York to go to Juilliard.
Got it.
Because I was dancing the whole time. My dancing was my trajectory.
That's my background. I danced through college at UC Irvine.
That's bananas.
It is.
Yeah, no, I wanted to be a ballerina. Actually, I didn't want to be. I wanted to be a ballerina, but they kept on telling me I couldn't because I wasn't as skinny as I possibly could.
Ballet is near
impossible. So they always would push me towards modern dance.
I can't stand modern.
And I was like, I can't
stand it.
But I was like, I want a tutu. I want a tiara.
I really like jazz and hip hop. Like if I could be, I would be a hip hop star. But
I could care less about all that shit.
The thing is, I was just like, with a ballet background. If you really train as a ballerina, hip hop is near impossible. Because I just felt that I was so
uptight.
I couldn't. Maybe now. Now they're starting to fuse ballet and hip hop. I've noticed there's like hip hop on point. There's a fusion. No, it's really cool. You should check it out.
Okay.
There's a fusion happening. It's so exciting. I think because of the internet and people have a freak show and it's really fun. Yeah. But at the time, I just can't take that out of me to get down and like figure out how to move in a different way. But I love hip hop, like love it. And tap. I wish I had done more tap.
Oh, tap! I would totally get back into tap right now.
Yeah, tap is.
I've got to figure out another way to get back to dance. What's hard is that like I do so many things, like even one night of not either focusing on comedy or being with my family or going to my 35 12-step programs. I don't have fucking time for shit.
You really don't. And the fact that you have a background with directing and stuff is like blowing my mind. I'm exploding.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I think we talked about it in the last video. or was it this video?
Oh,
that while you were in
So when I had my son, and then comedy kind of took a backseat because I just couldn't maintain doing shows and stuff like that. I then went to directing and writing and producing short films, and I had a feature film that went to the Outfest Screenwriters Lab.
And that's called?
It's called, that one is called The End of the Road, and it's actually based on a real place in New York City that served a suicide drink during the turn of the century, the 18th century.
Whoa.
And this place was called McGurk's Suicide Hall, and they would served, I think, 17 women from like 1899 or something to like 1905 killed themselves by drinking carbolic acid.
And they would just randomly select a woman?
No, they would ask for it.
And then maybe it would kill you, maybe it wouldn't, or they wanted to commit suicide.
Carbolic acid will fucking kill you.
So you came in because you're like, I need to
So
commit
they were working girls.
It was like a Dr. Kevorkian.
So yeah, exactly. So they were working girls. So the place was, so if you have to understand, like during this time, it was like super desperation, poverty. There's no such thing as public assistance.
Yeah.
A lot of women were prostitutes and things like that, and then they would only make it so far. All of these women were under 25 years old. So I thought this was a really interesting thing, because I was told this story, you know, growing up in New York City. This guy was like, that's McGurk's Suicide Hall. And I just thought this was the coolest idea.
Yeah.
And then I kind of married that concept to what it was like to live in LA, because I had this baby daddy who got famous overnight. And I noticed, and during this time, this was probably like in 2007, 2008, and during this time, Britney Spears was having her meltdown, and Anna Nicole Smith was having her meltdown.
Well.
And I remember very clearly that I had this like thought that like the closer these women were to death, the more people wanted to watch.
Wow.
And I just thought that like,
interesting.
I really feel like, and I've always wanted to be famous my whole life, and I feel like my perception of fame has very much shifted, because I feel like with the current climate, the more kind of bananas you are, the better TV you are.
The more you can fight on Instagram.
Yeah, and
be a hot
so
mess.
I don't want that anymore. I don't want to be at the top anymore. I just want to be at the middle. Like I just want to be nuts enough for it to be attractive to people.
Just work.
Right, exactly. But I don't want to be so crazy that I'm on the edge of sanity or a fucking hospital bed with restraints.
No,
you know
so you think that maybe some people will do anything for fame, so even go to the brink of their humanity and like go crazy, or do you think being famous drives them to the brink? You know what I mean? Because it's so much pressure in living in public.
I think that is the $1 million question right there. I feel like, I just know that for myself, I have an unnatural need for attention.
Wow.
And that's something that I'm very aware of. It is a huge character defect.
But you have to have it. I mean, okay, so we both do stand-up, and to do stand-up, you absolutely have to have that need and addiction.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, go see her stand up because she can command a room. It's so clear to me that you have a background in performance and theater and now dance and all of it. You've probably done voice. You're a triple threat. You're a true New York
You heard it here first.
Right here. And that's what I'm always impressed with New York talent is how accomplished they all are.
Well, because there's no fucking around.
There isn't. Like in LA, you're like, whatever.
Well, in LA, you can
just be famous.
Yeah, you can be famous for no reason. In New York, people
gotta earn it.
They're not as interested in that. Anyway, so also too about the character defect, like as far as like the attention.
Yeah.
I see it as an asset when it comes to performing, right? So that is an asset for me to be able to be like, oh, I need this attention, but I have to kind of make sure to be careful where to focus it. If I need this attention or control, which is another character defect that I have, which is great for when I'm producing a movie or when I'm producing a comedy show, I can get control of the room and I can make sure you over there, you that, whatever. That's great there. It doesn't work in the rest of my life.
Totally.
It is absolutely terrible for me to be seeking attention and controlling in my living room, with my friends, with my family. That is at the bank. Like it's just inappropriate. I feel like if you don't understand or you don't have clarity or you don't have consciousness about where your problems are, and some of your problems are great. Maria Bamford does her whole thing where she's totally like, like if you feel like you've done something really terrible, there's somebody out there who's gotten over it and is currently on a book tour. You know what I mean? Like if you can control what's kind of going on with you and you can turn it into a story, you can turn it into a positive, great. If you don't have control over it, it's gonna fucking go everywhere.
Yes.
But so you're pushing the fame ball forward, but your life is fucking out of fucking control. And then the two kind of get in bed together and then everybody's like, oh, let me watch while this person falls apart and literally dies. Like Anna Nicole is literally a product of fame and people needing it, all that stuff. And Britney Spears, like I think she got out of that situation, but she lost her kids, she lost everything. I mean, it's horrible.
That's insane. And or I think of that one. Did you ever watch The Hills?
Oh my God, no.
And
yes.
And that one girl did all that cosmetic surgery and she almost died.
Yes. So
and I just think she's another casualty.
So exactly.
Oh my God, she was the prettiest one on the show.
I married these two ideas together, and so I wrote this movie about it. And so it takes place kind of like in a dystopian future, kind of like
I can't wait to watch
a Blade Runner
thing.
thing.
And this is a feature.
Well, that's a feature. So then I
love Blade Runner.
And that was the
so cool.
that was the feature-length script, but then I made a short film based on that, and it's called Fast. And you can watch it at MelanieVesey.com. You can watch it there.
So cool. So have you heard of Victoria Woodhull?
No.
Because that era, I feel, so she was the first female to run for president in like the late 1800s. She's been completely erased. I want to make a movie about her so bad. And then I think last year Brett Ratner had the rights and was supposed to direct a film about her. I'm like, why him? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Wow.
But yeah, later we're gonna talk. I'm gonna give you a book, like, just because it's in that era where things were very cutthroat for women.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe it was earlier even because, she was like post Civil War. Yeah, maybe a similar time. But anyways, insane. You're gonna die. Victoria Woodhull. You can all look her up later, and we'll come back and we'll like marinate that. 'Cause I want to make. I feel like her spirit's telling me. Tell my story. What
about a documentary as opposed to like a scripted sitch?
No, I actually think scripted is the way to go. But so far, it's even hard to dig up information about her. There's a few scholars that have pieced things together, and then there was a few things on the internet about her because Hillary was running for president, and then. So people were like, "Hey, by the way, she's not the first one." Yeah. So it's so really interesting that she started to bubble to the surface, and now I'm sure it's kind of, that's not happening. So we'll save that for the next time.
Could be next time, 2020.
You never know. About it. What, like Oprah or something?
I don't know. Someone better come out of the fucking woodwork.
I am not hopeful. I feel like we're just little Russia, and like it's just over. I'm one of those people. I'm
a little bit like this is the last gasp of the dinosaurs. And then I feel like
it's gonna come back.
Yeah, because I feel like it's just the way things are that there's always a big push right before the end, and then because this younger generation isn't going to be able to handle that.
But they're breeding them. Like they're like breeding and organizing. They're multiplying and organizing.
There's no way that like. But I feel like there's more millennials and young people than there are, and I think this is the first time they've ever cared about politics. Okay. So I don't think they ever have before. I also think they couldn't vote before. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so
this is a wake-up call.
Yeah. That's what I'm really holding the space for.
Oh my gosh.
I really am.
I want to ask you about your transition. So you kept your creative juices flowing. You went to film festivals with these films and kept it going with your storytelling. How did you transition back into stand-up? What was that like?
Okay, so this...
Like, was it scary? Like, I want to know, because it's so hard for mom. Okay, we have one person watching right now. Can you hear me? Is it delayed? I hope not. Could you comment so we can see if we can just jump right back in? I got a phone call. I thought it was really important. And it wasn't, so I'm kind of pissed. Now there's two people watching. If one of you is at a computer, could you say, I can hear you. The sound is working. I can see the French fries, the Rubik's Cube. Nothing? Sometimes I feel like people might be like in the other room. Like my mom's like, I tried to watch. I was doing my makeup. It was running in the background.
Oh, look, there we go.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, hi, Vanessa. Ah! Well, it's one of my childhood friends.
Okay, so you're asking the question.
So I was asking transition because I really want to know for selfish reasons, what was that transition back into stand-up?
Okay, so for me personally, the story starts 20 years earlier, like 15 years earlier.
Wow.
So I was a working actress. I was in a movie with Jim Carrey. I was on
Tell
Broadway.
us that movie.
So that movie's called Man on the Moon.
Yes.
It's a biopic about Andy Kaufman, and I played Andy Kaufman's sister.
It's a great film.
It was
amazing.
It's
been a while, but I've seen it.
I was, you know, I got to be on the set on Saturday Night Live set. I got to be with Jim Carrey, Courtney Love, Milos Forman, rest in peace, Danny DeVito, the entire cast of Taxi. It was literally a dream beyond dreams, and I was delivered my career that I'd worked so hard for, and I was then on Broadway after that. I had done commercials and Law and Order and Homicide, and you know, testing for TV shows. I tested for Will and Grace, like Spin City, like all of that shit. Like it was incredible. And then I came out because I fell in love with a New York City police officer who happened to be a woman, and we broke up. And a year later, she came by my house and she shot me.
Oh my gosh, yes, I've heard this story in your scene.
So it ended my career. I really tried to hang on to my mental health, and I lost everything, and it was a real setback. It's
terrorism. It's terrorism when you derail
horrible.
someone and destroy them.
It just like destroyed it. So then after that, that's why I went back to men, because I was totally like, chicks are crazy.
I love that you just flock. It's like you're a total crazy asshole. I'm gonna try the other camp for a bit. Yeah.
Because I'm totally like, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not gay.
Yeah.
Clearly I'm getting a message from the universe that like bitches and nuts.
Back off. Yeah.
So
which we are. We gotta love them.
So I went back to men and then got pregnant with my son, and then that relationship was even worse. Like I was like, oh, I thought this was supposed to fix my shit, and it was even worse. So so because that entire career ended, it wasn't because I said, hey, I want to stop acting. It was
an act of God.
I felt like I was a victim of it.
Yeah.
Which I was. So about 3 or 4 years ago, I was totally like, after just being behind the camera and telling my stories like that, I was like, I've never put to rest the idea of acting and comedy and stuff like that. I've just been kind of behind the camera. So and because I had the support to come out from behind the camera and to be kind of like the person, the thing that is the attention. I thought I would give it a try. So that's what this chapter has been like. And I just want to say this to moms, because I feel like this is one of the most important things that I learned. Despite the fact that it had been 10 years since I had done comedy, everyone was right where I left them.
That is so true.
So don't feel
or they've fallen, like they've just quit.
Everybody was right where I left them. I'm shitting you not. I know you feel like the train is leaving the station and you're not on it and all of that stuff. And sure, there might be a few people that are moving along and getting famous. Believe me, I have some peers that are the most famous people in comedy right now. And I look at them and I'm like, there is a little, you know what I mean? Like it feels like that. But the truth of the matter is, when I wanted to return to comedy, I called these same exact people that I was performing with 10 years earlier, and I said, hey, I want to come do time. And they were like, fine, meet us at the comedy store.
Nice.
So
there you have it.
My comedy mentor was Adam Barnhart. He's the one who I did comedy with 10, 15 years ago at the comedy store. And then
he was still there?
Yes.
Because I feel that there has been some shifts in, like, I don't know, because I don't know all the players, but it feels very, because I was doing it before my daughter was born in 2014, and then I took time out to have her, because, and I talk about how I lost my sense of humor, and then now I'm back, and I think there's some new power dynamics there. Like they've done something. I don't know if it's under new management.
Well, unfortunately, Mitzi has died, but when I first started, Mitzi was still there.
Okay, I've never met her.
And
had met her.
So she was still there, and she was still running the show despite being very old. Then she kind of course, got too sick, and then other people took over. But there was a different dynamic that was happening, because when I had, for like a hot second in between the beginning and the restarting, I kind of dipped my toe back in.
Yeah.
But what had happened was reality TV had completely killed comedy. And you have to think about the trajectory of comedians, right? So comedians start out funny, and the hope is to get a TV show, right? And then a TV show ensures touring and all of that.
That's how you're gonna get paid. You don't get paid to do a set at the comedy store. Yeah.
No.
Like, here's $10.
Yeah, I mean, so your goal is to be Seinfeld, Roseanne, Ellen, that's your goal. Everybody loves Raymond.
Still is.
But here's the thing, when reality TV show happened, it was a fucking ghost town because comedians had nowhere to go.
I think that's true
and
for actors too.
The vibe was awful there. I mean, it was a ghost town. It was terrible, and I was like, God, the vibe here is terrible, right? And that's why I then was like, I really just want to tell my story. I've always been a storyteller, so I started as a storyteller, as a dancer. I'm telling stories with my body. Then I went into acting. I'm telling other people's stories. Then I went into comedy. I'm going to tell my story. Then I was like, well, I'm going to tell my story again, just in a different medium through writing and directing. And now I'm kind of back to telling my stories again.
Yeah.
So when I came back, like I said, everybody was right where I left them. And then because I kind of already had comedy chops, everything came back pretty quick. And then I just fucking worked really hard. And then, so Adam then made me a producer of the show, The Comedy Store. What? So then I ran that show for 2 years. I did over 100 shows. It was a weekly show. It was kind of bananas. But then I got the opportunity to film my comedy special. Now this was last year, and so some producers came in, we want to film your comedy special, and it was total dream come true. Unfortunately, what happened was those producers and the guy who shot it got into an argument, and I lost my comedy special.
And that's her fate as a fucker.
Yeah, well, and I unfortunately, and I was like, it was all, unfortunately, all men, and I was like, look at these man babies just fighting over shit. Like, can you just keep it together? And I was a casualty of that. Yeah. It's because one person was like, I wash my hands of this situation, and I don't ever want to work with you again. I did everything I could to get it back, lawyers, the whole thing. Yeah. It was a no-go.
I'm so sorry.
It was terrible. I cried literally for 48 hours straight.
Oh my God. Such
because
a heartbreak.
When you're working,
I mean, it's like losing a child.
I mean, well, I know. I don't think it's that.
No, I do. Well, here.
Like an artistic baby. People who have actually lost children. I'm sorry she just said that.
No. Okay, you're not. Okay, but this is bad mom jokes. So what if I can say what I'm going to say? And here's the thing. No, of course. But it really depends on what you've put into it. So, you know what I mean?
And also, if you're not a comedian, you don't understand. So when you get time in
dead
LA,
baby jokes are on limit.
Okay, so when you get time as a comedian, you get to do from anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes at a time. Mm-hmm. And they say it takes 10,000 hours to fucking perfect something. So think about the fact that you have to do this 3 to 10 minutes at a time.
It's true.
And you are scrapping and hustling and trying to get that. So the fact that I got almost an hour's worth of material out of this, put it together, shot it, lights, camera, action, lost it, and I was like, fuck. But here's the thing.
I mean, maybe it's like a miscarriage.
Exactly.
Okay, it's a miscarriage.
It's not
but like a miscarriage that you were hoping to have.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Not like a miscarriage where like, whoa, thank God.
I was really fucking excited. So here's the thing about that. So because I am a writer, director, producer, I was like, I don't need these dudes' permission to do this, right? Yeah. I know how to put together a camera team. I know how to produce a fucking event. I know how to fucking make it happen. I saved up the money. I fucking put it together. I hired a camera team. I fucking got a location. Because I also have a promotion company. I teach people how to promote themselves. I promoted the fuck out of it. It sold out in 2 days. I fucking put it all together. And that's my comedy special, Wild Animal, which will be out at the end of the month. Thank you. A couple of
baby goes to the ICU and is alive. All right. Well, no. Here's the thing. So my husband produced American Psycho the musical. I don't know.
Shut up. That's amazing.
And so it went all the way to Broadway. And the reason I say it's like a baby is because that was a part of our life for 10 years.
Amazing.
And then I remember after opening night, when I woke up in the morning, up in it wasn't the penthouse, but it was close enough. It was like 3 floors down. Yeah. I'm sitting up there. I felt like someone had shot me in the back of the head because we opened up. We knew the review from a person who shall not be named was bad, and we knew it was to murder it. You know what I mean? Like it did not have. It was too. First of all, it was a satire and it was attacking capitalism. So it was just too edgy and crazy for a musical on Broadway. It should have been off Broadway, is what I think would have been the best thing, or LA or whatever. And the powers that be did not give it the blessing. I mean, what's his name? I probably blocked it all out because for months I was in trauma because it was just like this I mean, thankfully they archived it, so it'll forever be in the archives for people to say it was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it had all these Trump references, but from the 80s, because Bret Easton Ellis wrote that in the 80s.
Jesus Christ.
So people thought that the writers had put that in because he was at the last minute, but that was all there, you know? It was all there, and it just, the timing couldn't have been more insane, and people just weren't ready, and it's not surprising to me that he was elected. And it did maybe a miscarriage, we'll call it a miscarriage, but it was like a full-term baby, you know what I mean, that we lost and had put in the ground, you know. And it's heavy and it's hard when you know that it's something that's so great and it's getting buried because the powers that be, it's dangerous. It's dangerous, so it needs to be invisible, and that's where the Victoria Woodhull, like, you're gonna be floored by her story.
Yeah, I can't
because
wait.
she's exactly that type of person. She's dangerous, and so she's invisible.
Yeah.
You know, like buried.
Yeah.
Deep in the ground.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyways, but I'm glad that wild animal.
Yep.
Nice.
That's what
it's
it's
so
called.
Awesome. Well, this has been awesome. I feel that I probably need to run back to my baby.
Of course. No, don't do that.
I'm just like fitting this in, you know, where I can, and so this is my like staying connected to the world. Yeah. So, anyways, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, j'adore to you.
I'm gonna be back, especially because you have all the technical everything. I'm like, do you have a wireless printer? Yes. Do you have an extension cord? Yes. So I'm sure you have some lights in the closet if I were like.
I do.
Awesome. All right, cool. Maybe next time, because now that I know that you have this film background, maybe we'll talk that.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Yay.
We didn't talk about our coven. I feel like is that something that we keep secret?
No, it's totally not something we keep secret. So, you want to?
I don't know. It's this amazing thing. Well, okay. So the reason I took a phone call earlier is because my daughter was diagnosed with diabetes this summer. And it's been really heavy, especially for me because I'm counting the days until she's in school. And now I've got someone that basically, she has a type of handicap or disability where I'm going to have to be her pancreas for a while, you know, until she can do it on her own. And anyways. So that really hit me hard this summer. I had all these plans, big plans, to drive to Ventura to do stand-up, to drive to, you know, like my little baby steps into it, you know. And instead, though, I told my husband, I think I got what I've always wanted more. I got a coven. Because we have this tight group of women, and we refer to each other as these conspiracy theories about YouTube trying to like interfere, but I think it's just technical.
I think you just need to put it on airplane mode when you're shooting.
I can't because I'm using the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
I'm streaming live. So I have no way. Yeah, like I used to do it on Thursdays, and my street cleaning alarm would go off. And I'm like, I have to go move my car.
Oh my
God. No, I need to do it on a laptop. I will get a laptop. It'll happen. Anyways, so you're my witch. We're each other's witches.
Yeah. Even though I have a whole new joke about witches, because I hate it when people are like, I'm a witch. Like,
oh, do you? Oh, you're doing your joke, right?
Well,
I didn't even know people did that.
Well, it's so funny because because I know that being witchy is kind of like this, like everyone's like, I'm a witch. And I'm like, you're not a witch. You're just a basic bitch in a shawl. Like, you're not a witch. Like, I'm witchy. Like, no, you're not.
No,
you're not. So I've got this whole new bit about witch. However, I am a part of this comedy coven.
Yes.
So it's funny because I feel very isolated usually in my life. I live in Pasadena, you know, and when you're a mom and you have a family, like I only see people if they're in my driveway or if they're in my living room or if they're at my comedy show. But because I'm a female who does comedy, I'm also a gay female who does comedy. There's only so many of us allowed on each show, right? So I don't usually see other female comedians very much, or we're on competing shows, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, come see this, or I want to come support you, but I'm performing that night, super sorry. So our friend Charlotte and Carrie, they are in this like total BFF, amazing relationship. I've always been like, I wish I was I want to just squeeze into their.
Well, okay, so this is how this started. Yeah. So Carrie and I were in a web series together, and I had always told her, you need to do stand-up. You're so fucking funny. You need to do stand-up. And she's like, I know, I'm really busy. And fast forward a few years, I just had a feeling she was doing it.
Yeah.
So I texted her. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna go to a comedy. I just want to go do stand up and write in the back because I want to like baby step back into it. She's like, bitch, you're going up tonight. And so I got together with her and Carrie and Charlotte at an open mic in Tarzana.
Oh my God.
And Charlotte was kind of looking at me like, who's this? You know,
Right.
it was kind of like, you're not getting in on this.
Yeah, moving in on the
And then I think
BFF
she warmed up to me. She's like, all right, we'll take you, scrawny bitch. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Yeah, and so then it kind of started to form, and then it's just started, you know, through their show, and you did their show.
Yeah, and then I got kind of introduced to Charlotte and Carrie through this other like comedian. I don't remember how it all went down.
Yeah.
Then I did their show.
Yes.
But then Charlotte kind of reached out to me once, like just wanting to like really connect on kind of like a little bit of a deeper level. And I'd literally been praying for like, just like, I need more people that speak my language in my life. I feel so alone in this sometimes. And then she was like, I'm gonna loop you into this we're in a group text message thing on Facebook. Then it's Jess Wood, who is hilarious comedian.
She's
first
so
white
kick-ass.
girl ever on the Def Jam comedy.
She's my hero. I love her
show.
so much. I'm her groupie.
She's amazing. And then Alyssa was either already there or looped in. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But so Lizzie Wiseman, who's also very funny.
Yeah.
It's really like our peers, we're all supporting each other.
Yeah, no, you guys, when I was in the hospital with my daughter, everyone's drawing these beautiful little rainbow hearts around our photos, and it just, my heart exploded. It meant so much to me.
Yeah.
And I told my husband, I finally have my coven, because I come from a small town. I was always looking for witches. Always. In college, I was in the library looking for witches.
Right.
And I never and they found me. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is meant to be. And I hope you guys will keep me because I feel like I'm in like the mom stage where I'm like, I'm barely kind of keeping my foot in it. But yeah.
I say.
And you're all going to Palm Springs.
Yeah. So we all got into the Palm Springs Comedy Festival.
I'm going to go as a groupie. My husband wants to go because we love Palm Springs.
He's
like, I'll just sit at the pool and watch the kids. You go.
So, but here's the thing, and I was going to say to you too, and I might have said it in the first video. I'm not sure, but like even though you feel like you're not doing enough, like it doesn't matter, just don't stop. Right. And that's the thing that I regret is that like I could have just kept my toe in the pool a little bit. Yeah. With comedy, it is a little challenging because you do need to kind of like you get rusty in between sets, so you're kind of like
literally in a day.
So you're kind of like, I'm just only up here being rusty, but like a part of me is like, so
just
what?
Be awkward. Who cares?
I really feel like the perfectionism of our life is really a problem, and I just like to give myself permission to do a bad job.
Yes.
Just do a bad job, just because you're probably going to do it better than somebody who's not doing it, right? So you just fucking do the worst possible job you can. So,
but it is really challenging. I went to a mic recently where nobody knew me, and I got really high. It was really stupid. I got really high. I was horrible. Material that usually takes me 3 minutes took me 5, just so you can see, like, I'm like, And it was a room full of men that thought I was probably just some dumb broad, and that's all they know of my comedy. So it is really challenging to be like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Be your worst version, and you still at least went out that night. And you know what?
They were probably even worse. So whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm really into flawed people doing the best that they possibly can right now.
Well, that's
because I just feel like you just don't have to be fucking perfect to fucking do it.
No, and those are the most interesting people. I think the most interesting comedians are the most vulnerable.
And they have a story to fucking tell, right? So I feel like for you, like, even though you feel like you can't engage all of the time, like I said, like, we're all right here. So the second you have that time, you're like, where can I go up? And so that's what we do. Like, we're like, who's going up tonight? Where are you going up? And also posting stuff like, oh, this festival is taking submissions, or this thing is looking for blah, 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 or what have you. So, you know,
I believe in people rising together. I think the collective we underestimate how important the collective is.
I agree with that.
It's so important. And so maybe we could do some of these live videos from Palm Springs.
Oh my God, so much fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I really hope I can make bathing suits.
I'll just have to like lay like very like flat. Like just how's this? How's the
we'll be like, hi.
Yeah, we'll just mount it over us.
Exactly.
So everything's pulled back and pushed up.
Wide angle.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been so amazing. Let's do this again. And Yay! Okay, cool. All right, thanks you guys for watching. Bye.